Hi, everyone. I'm Aaliyah,
And I'm Curtis.
and this is Heavy Business. And today we have on the heavy metal queen, Doro herself. Doro is celebrating 40 years of active service in the metal battle, and with her new album, Conqueress, Forever Strong and Proud, out now on Nuclear Blast. It's a big, bold, heavy metal album, true to Doro's metal roots and full of epic, hard hitting tracks. And I really recommend that you go check it out right now if you have not listened to it yet. Doro, thanks so much for joining us on
Well,
Heavy
thank you for
Business.
having me. That's all. And
Of
like I
course.
told you, I have a little cold, but yeah, I hope you guys can understand me.
You're soldiering through.
Yeah,
I really
yes,
appreciate that.
I know that from touring. Usually on tour, I'm always sick, and then for a singer, oh man,
Oh,
that's
it's the
like
worst.
it's the worst. And then, but when I hop on stage, usually everything is okay. The voice is there, okay, but before and afterwards, that's a different story.
Adrenaline saves you on stage, though.
Yeah,
I get
you're
that.
right.
I kind of wanted to dive in and talk about your songwriting process and ask you what it's like. Do you typically write in like the jam session format, or do you employ some other like methods?
Yeah, actually, usually I believe when stuff is coming out of your heart, that's the best. Of course, you could sit down with, the band or guitar player and you could do something, but I really prefer when I have an idea. Usually, a great idea comes to me when I fall asleep or when I'm waking up. There's always like this mind is so nice and clear. And then, and when I feel, ooh, there's an idea coming out, I usually have an idea like the chorus and the melody and the lyrics, they're right coming out like in one piece. And then when I have a feeling, this could be some magic, then I send it usually to my it's a guitar player, and he's a great partner for me since 1996. He's in Hamburg. He's the ex-guitar player of Sisters of Mercy. His name is Andreas Brun. And then I always sing something on my cell phone and I send it to Andreas and say, hey, Andreas, I had this idea, I'm really excited about it. Check it out. And if he feels the same, then usually we work on it, and then we take it from there, and we finish it. And he's a great player. He plays great guitars and keyboards, drums, everything. So working with Andreas, for me, that's the best. But on this album, on the Conqueress, I don't know if you guys seen the nice vinyl. It's still on vinyl format as
Oh,
well,
beautiful.
and it
Nice.
has the
I
little guitar.
love that gatefold.
Yeah, like my first band, you can see here in the black and white photo. That was my very first band, and then and Lemmy and everybody and Metallica and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to show you. Yeah, on this album it was different because we had two new players in the band. One guitar player, Bill Hudson, and a new bass player, Stefan Herkenhoff, and we wrote some great stuff together. And that was actually coming out much different. They offered me some demos, like without vocals, without words, but some great background tracks. And I thought, ooh, that's nice. So when I thought, yeah, man, I love it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And usually, I went to the studio. Stefan has a nice studio, home studio, and then we tried out some ideas. That's how my favorite song came about. That's Children of the Dawn. That's the opening track. That's why it is the opening track. And it has 20 killer songs on it, but Children of the Dawn, that's the opener. And we just did a nice video for it as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos for the album,
I did. I did.
Children of the Dawn.
Yes, that's a great video. I actually wanted to ask you if you had any interesting stories from the filming. I noticed it's not super noticeable, but I noticed that the drummer was not playing on a kit in either of the band performance locations. So if there's an interesting story behind that or anything you want to share about filming the videos.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, the first video, Time for Justice, I met these cool people they call Wasteland Warriors. I met them in Wacken. It's this big festival in Germany. I don't know if you guys ever,
Oh,
you know,
yes. Oh, yes, of course.
right? And I love it. And I played there many, many, many times. And I met these people, like, I think maybe 5, 6 years ago, and I always wanted to do something together. And so when we picked Time for Justice as the first single, because of the message, and then I said, man, I wanna call him, and maybe they're interested in doing this video together. And I called him up and I said, absolutely, we will be there. And I wanted to have it look like a little Mad Max movie. So the first video, I shot it in an old industrial part of it. It's not anymore. Well, it's actually, it was a huge factory, but nobody uses it anymore. So it looks pretty. It looks pretty cool. And I did this whole video with the Wasteland Warriors, and we cut in our band performances from the Brazil show. We played Brazil, the Monsters of Rock festivals, and it was awesome. In Sao Paulo, and then we put some little live footage of the guys in that video. And Children of the Dawn, I thought, yeah, definitely want to have the whole band there, and I wanted to make it, yeah, similar to Time for Justice, so Mad Max kind of. And then I thought it's cool when Johnny plays, on, yeah, on something else, and hits him with some metal gear, and and not really not drum set and Marshall stuff and all. And then, yeah, we all, the guys, they all got makeup. This one girl, she's always doing everybody's makeup, just putting black on, and then I thought, yeah, it looks really good. And a drum set, of course, is always good, but this one I thought was even more special. And
Yeah, it was because I mean, it was so cool that he really looked like the motions looked so real, like he was still
yeah,
playing the drums in his heart, and it was
yeah,
like, I thought it was pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, I thought so too. And he looked great, and, yeah, and all the guys, I think they looked great, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And then the third video, I think were there only three videos?
No,
The
5.
five. Oh, I
We did
missed some.
Time for Justice, then Living After Midnight. It was a lyric video, and you could see some live footage of Brazil. And that was actually my first duet with Rob Halford, which I'm so happy. And that was my first tour in 1986 with Judas Priest. I was a big Judas Priest fan. And then we did 2 duets on this album. And first song was Living After Midnight. That was actually my choice because I liked the British Steel album of Priest so much. And Rob said, I would like to do Total Eclipse of the Heart. And that came out so nice, and I couldn't
It really
believe.
did.
No, it did, no. And the video came out so great too. So it was Time for Justice first, Living After Midnight, then Bond Unending. It was another duet. It's a deep friendship song, and with another singer. His name is Sammy Amara. He's in this big German band Broilers, and they invited me to be a part of like on their show last year. And then we hit it off, and we said, hey, let's do something together, because they're more like punk rock and I'm more metal rock, and it still worked great. So we did Bond Unending. There was another video, you could see live footage of Wacken and all that stuff. And yeah, and then the other video was Children of the Dawn, which I love so much. And then the video just came out 2 weeks ago, time Total Eclipse of the Heart with Rob Halford. And we have another video in the making. It's a comic video that's of the song Lean Mean Rock Machine. And that's, oh man, I think it's awesome. I saw the first 2 minutes, and it's so funny, and it's really cool comic style. And so this will come out in the next, I guess, couple of weeks or something.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw the Children of the Dawn, I saw Time for Justice, and I saw the Total Eclipse of the Heart videos, and they were all really excellent. Do you feel that in your 40 years of experience in this industry, has the standards for music video changed or at all, or what are the differences that you've seen over the years in what's kind of expected out of a music video?
Yeah, actually, yeah, in the 80s, man, it was sometimes more expensive than a whole album. It was so sinfully expensive. And I loved doing videos. Like we did a great video of All We Are and Whiter Shade of Pale and Für Immer and all that stuff. But the budget, that was unbelievable. We always went twice over budget because you want to have a great video. So, in the end, it's always more expensive. So that totally changed. You can definitely make great videos for not so much money, and so you're not in debt
Absolutely.
so much. That's definitely great. And I think, yeah, just recently the videos came back that it's very important. For many years it wasn't so important, and now the record company in Nuclear Blast, they told me, yeah, let's do 4 or 5 videos and 4 or 5 singles before the album is coming out. And I thought, wow, really? And usually I was used to doing one video, one single, and then when the record is going well, when it's out, then maybe another video. But now there was different, having 4 or 5 videos before the actual album release. But I liked it, and there are great people out there, like great, you know, great video producers. So that's always the key. If you have somebody who really is good and understands and, you know, makes it look cool, and somebody who really understands music. Sometimes they're video producers, and then I I saw, like, man, it's never like, the timing is always off. You know, the visuals look great, but you know the timing was sometimes off, and so a good video director definitely has to have both, like good feel for the music and a good eye, and you know,
Hmm.
and being very creative. But I think, yeah, there are great people out there. It's great, and yeah, and now it became more important again. That's actually cool. And but of course there are not so many music channels anymore where they play videos, so it's all usually, you know, for YouTube and stuff. And it's still a lot of work. It's still expensive, and then people watch it and they say, yeah, it's okay, next. And I said, what? And you know, it always takes a long time. This whole album took like 3 years to make, and all the videos, you know, it's weeks and weeks of, you know, filming and cutting and then recutting, and you know, and the record as well. It's There's so much going into it. That's yeah. And then, you know, yeah, when you consume it, just like, yeah, like that, it wouldn't be so valuable. That sometimes sucks, I think, you know, in this day and age. Yeah, you know, you can have everything, you know, at all times. And I remember the really great times in the 80s where you had to drive whatever to another city or to another country to pick up a record, you know, or to see your favorite band. And now, you know, you can just click on the internet and everything is available. And I think it devalues the art a little bit. And I mean, I'm still happy that we can still do it full force, but yeah, it's different now. It's different now. And on one hand, internet great. On the other hand, it's like, yeah, when you always get stuff so easy, you know, then I think it doesn't mean so much anymore. No?
Yeah, for sure. And it's a win and lose, you know.
Yeah.
I had a quick question. Doro, do you think doing the 5 videos helped your album promo, or do you think it didn't really make a difference in the long run?
Yeah. You know what I felt, since we're doing now social media almost every day, I thought, you know, it would attract the same people, but I think it doesn't. And I don't know. I don't know if it really helped the album. Maybe a little bit. I think it's always good to have a good video, you know, to not have, you know, something what you don't like. It needs to be something really good and cool and special. But if people who love the video immediately buy the album, I don't know. It would be great. I hope I hope so. I hope so. But I'm very happy the album charted number 5 in Germany. And I think first was Taylor Swift, then the Rolling Stones, then a rap guy, and then another one, and then number 5. And I thought, oh, that's a
That's
huge,
awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. And I just found out in America, the heavy rock radio charts, we are number 1.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Congrats.
So I guess, yeah, the videos might have helped, and yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about your energy because I think it is. We've actually had you on the podcast a couple times before. I've spoken with you once before, and It's always such a pleasure to experience your energy. You're so joyful and positive. And I wanted to ask your insight for newer bands that aren't as experienced with being in interviews. How do you keep your energy positive, and what do you do if someone asks you a question that you don't really want to answer?
Ah, well, I even when somebody asks something uncomfortable, I always try to you know to yeah to be truthful. And if somebody wants to know something, what was maybe like in the past, or what was not so good, or then I always speak the truth. I cannot even lie. I always say what's on my mind.
Okay, yeah.
And I think, yeah, being authentic, that's probably the best way. And yeah, today, like I said, I have a bad cold, so maybe I'm not as energetic as usual, but usually I'm always happy to talk about the music. I'm happy to talk to you guys. It's always great, when people even, want to hear something about the music, want to find out, that's my life. So I'm really happy that, that yeah, that people want to hear that stuff. So I'm always happy when it comes to music. Always, I don't have to work for it. It's just like, even when I'm like totally whatever in my deep sleep, if somebody wakes me up and says, you want to talk about the record? Yes, yes, of course, always. And yeah, and actually, yeah, when young bands start doing interviews, I guess, always like talk about something you really love, maybe talk about your favorite song on the album. Don't talk about the song maybe you don't like, but the other band members like. So always find something positive to talk about. And then I think the other people will feel good energy. I think good energy is always good, and you always, if you give good energy, you always get good energy back. Maybe not from the same people, but yeah, staying positive, especially in this day and age, super important. Where the world is so crazy. I never seen it so chaotic and crazy, and it's really, really, it's tough, it's heavy and sad. So I always try to focus on good stuff and to make people happy, to give them something, and something what gives them
Yes.
power, energy, and something for the heart and soul. And yeah, so that's the reason why I always make long records on this album. There are 20 songs, and I think there's a song for each mood. If you're like in a really like, like if you feel lonely, then I would say, yeah, check out Best in Me or Fels in der Brandung. It has a German title. It means You're My Rock. And even when you don't know the lyrics, but you can feel that, there's somebody out there who gives you a hug, who understands, who is in the same situation. So I think music is something that's so magical. I love it. Uh, yeah, but I would say just do what you love, always go full force, always give it your all, always put heart and soul and, and all your time into it. Usually you can't have everything. I made a decision when I was 24. I was in Manhattan. I lived in Manhattan for 20 years and or 25 years in New York. And one day I woke up and I thought, today I want to choose my priorities. And then I thought, yeah, I want to do music and I don't want to settle down. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. I want to do music. And ever since I made that decision, I was really happy that I could stay focused. Before I thought, I would like to do this and this, and I want to have, I love animals so much, so I always wanted to have cats and dogs and horses, and I grew up with that. But it's not possible. So you have to make your, you know, a decision what you want to do, and then go for it, and don't take any breaks. I think any breaks is not so good because then it's hard to get into it again. So, and I never took a vacation. Not that that is a good thing. Maybe it would be good to take a vacation after, a tour or doing a record, but I never took a vacation. It was always actually sometimes 24 hours thinking, breathing, working on stuff and working on the record. Yeah. Usually when something is not done, then I can never even relax. So the whole album, 3 years, it was nonstop. And then I thought, when the album is done, I'm so happy with it. Now I can relax. But then the promotion started right away, and the videos, and and whatever you have to do, so to get it off the ground. So yeah.
Right. We just have to take the times that we can have to just moments of rest, to breathe and recollect ourselves, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
We're already running out of time, unfortunately, but I do want to ask you, in your years of experience in the industry, you've been on a few different labels, and I wanted to just ask you, you've seen the best and the worst of the music industry. What do you think that bands should be careful about when considering working with a record label?
Yeah, I think, man, find good people, find good people. You have the feeling you can trust them. And man, the world outside is sometimes is a dangerous place. So I just want to tell you, we just got hacked. Our Facebook got hacked. Hey, because of doing an interview, I wanted to do a podcast, and then and oh man, we had to even call the police, lawyers. It will cost a lot of money and stuff. So there are always some bastards out there. So have to be really careful. I think listen to your heart. If you feel there's something fishy about it, when there's something strange, then then maybe not sign with people where you don't feel comfortable. Feel good about your decision, the people you work with. And when you sign a deal, you should be totally like, yeah, like really like, yeah, feeling everybody is for you, supportive, and yeah, and I was like with good labels and with not so good labels. So and if you're in a situation where it's not so good, then just make the best out of it. Because even my first album, I did my first album in '83. It was a Belgium label, Mausoleum, but that wasn't it didn't go the way we thought, and we had to pay for everything. And it was like, but I know many people, they go, or many bands, they know these experiences. But I can't complain, because it was the first record and they put out the first record. So in the end, it was okay. But it's always tough, and yeah, you have to always, yeah, invest more than you might get out. And just like, if you can make people happy, that's very rewarding. Money, that's another issue, man. There's not so much money, especially today with streaming. Man, you get a couple of million streams, and then you can buy your friend lunch. That's it. And so it's different now anyway. But yeah, but follow your heart. You can't go wrong, I would say. That's always.
Words of wisdom from Doro. Thank you so much. I don't want to cut into the next interview too much. So thanks again for coming on our podcast, offering your wisdom for us.
Thank you. And I
And
apologize that I was so sick. I was like, man,
oh, you're fine.
looking
You're fine.
forward to
Yes.
talk to you guys. Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Yes, and everyone listening, thank you for listening. And until next time, make like a bull and throw those horns up.